Hey guys, welcome to my spooky Maleficent tutorial. I saw the pictures of Angelina Jolie and I knew that I had to recreate it. So I got really creative and I made the whole costume, the headpiece and everything. And actually this was my first time doing prosthetic cheeks, so I had a little bit of trouble with that. You guys are going to see that later on. But anyways, let's get started. So I start out with the eyebrows first, and I'm using a little bit of Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow, and what I'm doing is I'm bringing the corners of my brows higher and making them more pointy to look more villainous. Next, for a really clean look, I took some concealer and a flat brush and carved my brows out like I normally do. For my eyeshadow base, I'm applying a thin layer of MAC Painterly, and that's a paint pot. Then for the eyeshadow, I'm starting out with a kind of flat grayish brown color, and I'm putting it into the crease and then swirling it all around. I didn't want anything super defined, and I tried to make my eyes kind of round. I also added a touch of yellow into the brow bone because that's what it looked like in the pictures. Then I deepened the crease a little bit with some black shadow, and I really tried to keep the shape of the eyes round. Once I was all done with the shadow, I moved on to the under eyes, and I'm taking a little bit of Anastasia under eye concealer, and this is in shade 1. Next, for my eyeliner, I used this brown eyeliner pencil from Anastasia Beverly Hills. A pencil will just give you a softer look, and I also added a tiny little baby wing. Then I took a brush and some brown shadow and just tried to smoke it out. And you can see I'm not used to doing my eyes round. And last but not least, I added a pair of lashes, and I kept the style pretty natural looking. Okay, so time for the fake cheeks. This was super challenging. You guys are about to see. You're gonna need baby wipes. I have here Vaseline or petroleum jelly, liquid latex from Ben Nye, and also the nose and scar wax. And it's really handy to have a spatula and palette on hand. I should also let you guys know, I just googled this and kind of winged it. There's probably a much better way to do this. This is my first time, so I just kind of figured it out. And I'm sure this is not how they did it for the movie, obviously. So first I just rolled it and kind of made it into the shape of a cheek. And this is my first mistake that I made, don't mind my funny face, is that I put way too much on. So I'm just kind of first adhering the nose and scar wax to my skin and just dragging it on. And this stuff, the more you touch it, the stickier it gets, the harder it is to work with. My first task was just getting it on the cheek, just getting it to stick there, and it's all bumpy, it looks like crap. So then I went in with the Vaseline and kind of smoothed it out. And at this point, I'm just really struggling with it, like worried if it's gonna look okay. I almost felt like taking it off. And then I decided to take the spatula and kind of peel it so it transitioned into my skin smoother, because it was just like a lump of clay on my cheek basically. Then I just continued to use that spatula to carve away at it to make it more natural looking, and then I would go back in with the petroleum jelly to smooth it out. But it was so hard to get it smooth. Basically, I took the spatula there and carved away at it like it was clay on my face, honestly, for like an hour, and I was like, there's probably a way better way to do this, but you know, you just gotta improvise and make it work. And I just thought I would include this because you can see one of the many times I messed up. I folded that piece back and I just went in with the spatula and kind of smoothed it out. Alright, so this is basically as smooth as I got those cheeks. This is about after, I want to say, like an hour of doing tiny little movements with that spatula to get that smooth. Once I was all done with the cheeks, I put a little bit of this liquid latex, and you want to make sure and use a synthetic brush that you don't care about, because this stuff basically feels like eyelash glue, and I just smoothed it all over, and it's going to seal that putty into my skin. For foundation, first I went and used the Anastasia concealer, and it was kind of too sticky for the liquid latex. It was pulling it up, so that was probably a bad choice. But at that point I was already committed, so I just kind of stuck with it, and I put a really light concealer underneath. Oh, and I went more pale because obviously Angelina was more pale. Then I took a powder. This is from Mana Kadar Cosmetics. It's just a light powder, and I packed it all over the cheeks, and I felt like that matteness helped hide all the bumps and imperfections. Now to contour those cheekbones out, first I took the Anastasia contour kit and just kind of dragged it down. And again, I was struggling here because that part was so bumpy, so the darkness was just showing up and kind of like exemplifying those imperfections. Then I went in with a brown powder and I tried to make that line really dark and dramatic, and it wasn't smooth, so later on you guys will see I smoothed it out and it ended up looking okay. So for the nose contour, I did something different to try and make my nose look rounder like hers. I went a little bit wider on the outsides because I feel like my nose is a little bit more narrow. So I used the contour kit and just made my nose look a little bit rounder. Then on the lips, I lined them, and I tried to line them outside my lips, but not too much because at this point, I was already feeling like a strange drag queen creature. So I lined my lips with cherry lip liner and then went in with Melt Cosmetics Belladonna and used a matte lipstick. Everything was matte because in the movie it was matte. And then here I was going back in and smoothing that out. I actually did it even more off camera. It was really stubborn, but I just tried my best. Now for the contacts, in the movie her eyes were green, but they weren't like natural green, they were kind of monstery green. So I had these yellow ones that I feel like they were a little bit brighter than hers in the movie, but I figure they did well enough, so I stuck them in my eyes. Now the look is complete. I had so much fun doing this for you guys. I actually creeped myself out while I was watching my footage. I hope you guys like it. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. And make sure you stay tuned at the end of the video. After my bloopers, I put my alternate intro. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you soon.
Fuck yeah! I put my nails into my cheek.